I either win or I learn in any type of competition. But I think people just get caught up in not wanting to experience that feeling of temporary defeat.
So my perspective is exactly the same as that. I try and seek as much competition as possible. Have you read the book Choose Your Enemies Wisely?
No.
Okay, it's a really good book by Patrick David, so shout out to him. And a friend of mine said to me, he's like, dude, you could have written this fucking book, because I almost kind of like create enemies on purpose to give me someone to fucking push against. If
And
that
they
makes
say
sense.
like the Michael Jordans and
Yeah. Well, if you look at Messi, Ronaldo, it's a great example.
Yeah, and they said Michael Jordan got to a point where he would make up stories about what people said about him. Right? Like I was watching the documentary and the guy's like, yeah, they made up this whole story that this guy was talking about Michael Jordan, and the guy in the interview is like, I never said any of that. But he just made that up just to create that because he needed it because he was so good. And actually I was having a conversation, I was saying that I was working with you and stuff, and somebody was asking, I said, that exact point about you. I said, you know what, it tells me a lot, because when I come and train with you, this is kind of like outside of your comfort zone. And most people that train with me, honestly, will train with me one time, and then I won't hear from them again. But you're the first one to message me on Sunday, yo, are we on for this week? Are we on for this week? Are we on? I'm like, that tells me a lot about somebody. Even though it's just a workout, a lot of people, it's just a workout. No, it's a lot deeper than a workout, because this is something that's not in your comfort zone. It's not something that you're like amazing at running and stuff. Yet you want to be pushed. You want to bring somebody that is better than you at something, and you want to see how you rank. And that's why I think you've reached your level of success as well, because that mentality is what gets you over the hump.
For me, I've always had the mentality, I always want someone to chase. So it's like, okay, if I come train with you, you're way fit than me. So I'm like, okay, he's setting a pace. I'm going to try and keep, like, my goals, I will fucking pass out or I finish. Like, it's one or the other. So it's like, rather than, because probably my ego wouldn't let me stop, if that makes sense, because I'm the competitive drive of like,
of course.
I don't want you to think I'm a fucking pussy. But like, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to walk. So it's like, I'm going to keep going, or I'm going to pass out in the fucking heat.
Yeah,
like
exactly. And that says a lot about you. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell people, I'm like, I wish I had, I could find somebody in my area that was at that level of like fitness that I could chase them. Like that's something that I love. I thrive on. Just like in business, I'm surrounding myself with everybody that's killing it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I need that,
Why do you think some people, so obviously we both live in Dubai, some people feel uncomfortable maybe being around other people who are better than them at other things? For me personally, I take inspiration of like, okay, if he can do that, then I can do that too.
Yeah. I think, and I was having this thought the other day, I think there's two types of people out there. There's one that sees success and they get inspired and motivated by it. And like you said, okay, if that person is doing it, I could do it too, right? Let me see what I could pick up from that individual and utilize it in my life. And then there's the other type of person that shies away from it or hates on it, gets jealous by it, and wants nothing to do with it. But I'm a firm believer that that type of person will never reach their full potential. Even if they're relatively successful, they'll never reach the potential that they're able to reach, because they crumble in that, right? And I think at the end of the day, just going back to how people view them and facing that feeling of like, okay, I'm not where I need to be, like this is the next level, but let me see what I can learn from it so I can, rather than just being like, kind of like ignorance is bliss, like out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? And I just think they'll never, those type of people will never reach the level that they're capable of reaching.
There's a saying I like, and it's psychology will beat physiology. So it's like, I can go another quote, I think it was Jocko Willink's, like all, I don't know how the quote goes, but it's basically like, all failure is by like choice or psychological, other than death. So like, you stop fucking running because you decided to stop. Like if you fucking pass out, you pass out. Like it's either one or the other. So it's like you're choosing to stop doing something, or choosing to not work as hard as you could. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of go wrong. I see the same thing in a business perspective. People can't get out their own fucking way. I'm like, you said to me 3 weeks ago, dude, you can do this, and you haven't fucking done it. And it's like, we have the same conversation repeat. And I think people have that same conversation repeat with themselves every day about getting in shape, building business, whatever it is, but they just keep kicking the can down the road. Whereas like, and even like, I'll give an example. I did something on Monday. I planned out some website I needed to build. And I'd be procrastinating on this for like fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this is really complicated. It took me a fucking hour. And I probably spent like an hour, like fucking hours mentally masturbating in my head about doing this thing. Yeah. And I did it. And I was like, why the fuck did I just do this like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, my dad used to always say, like even as a kid, it always stuck with me, don't let fireworks go off in your head. Right?
That's a good saying.
Yeah, it's like we oftentimes put all these fireworks in our head, like, oh, I got to do this and this and this. And then when you actually just sit down and do it or just go work out, it's like, oh, that's not nearly as bad as what was going on in my head. So whenever something, a decision needs to be made or I need to do something, I'm like, because it's human nature. Like sometimes fireworks go off in our head, but I just always remember, don't let the fireworks go off in your head. Just go do it. Right.
What's even the thing I see is, having been in business a while and coached a lot of people, is the number one superpower. I think it's the same for sports, is emotional stability. Like your ability to keep your shit together when everyone else is fucking losing their shit. If you look at if you look at American football, I'd imagine Tom Brady has a very high level of emotional stability.
Yeah.
Like he's like fucking zen, like whilst playing all the time, so he can control his emotions and his decisions. Where if he's like up and down,
no, you can't.
He's going to be erratic.
Yeah, you can't, especially at that position. And one of my favorite, actually a client told me this, and I live by it. It's like the most important decision is your next best move. No matter where you're at, like I look at it as like a chess, right? Like on a chessboard. When you're playing chess, no matter what position you're in, right? All you can think of, then all you can really control is your next best move. So whenever I'm getting stressed or overwhelmed in life, I just always go back to that. Okay, what's my next best move? I can't control all these other external variables, all these different things. But what I can control is what is my next best move. Then I build off that. Okay, after I make my next best, okay, what's my next best move? And then oftentimes you get out of the situation that you may have been in or what you're stressed about. So I always just go back to what's my next best move? What's the next best move?
From the clientele you work with, some of the most successful people in Dubai and kind of around the world, what would you say is the biggest character trait you've seen in all of them?
First and foremost, I would say it's two things. One, the level of humility, right? A lot of these, clients that I have that, are the high level, I think maybe the fact because they're really about it, rather than you see a lot of people in Dubai kind of like perpetrating like they're about it, but the people that are really, really about it have this level of humility, right? And appreciation for it. And then the number two thing is just their attention to detail. That is the number one biggest separation I see between like great and like very great,
Have you got a specific example you're allowed to share with that?
The attention to detail. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's just it's like little things. Like I could come in and they could observe like exactly what I'm feeling, or if something's a little bit off, or we could be in a place and they see like the little small details, or just making sure everything is, you can't have perfection, but they strive to make everything as close to perfection as they can, right? Where everything is just seamless and everything is, dotting their I's and crossing their T's, like everything is on point. That's the best way I could put it. I mean, the level to detail from their training, their nutrition, to their business, to everything is just done right. And they notice things that other people won't notice, right? So it's just the attention to detail and kind of becoming obsessive with it, right? That's the separation. And honestly, that was the biggest thing I picked up because, I work hard, I'm consistent, I'm disciplined, but I'm like, okay, if I want to take it to the next level, I've learned from them, it's like, no, attention to every detail. Especially when we're talking about business, it's like within the business, what's going on here, what's going on there, being knowledgeable in every aspect of your business, right? And not letting things slide as well. Being sharp in everything that they do.
I like what you said there, and to chop with everything we do, because I think a lot of people try to be like a one-trick pony. So like they're good at one aspect of the life, but the way I try and look at it is there's a book, I think I can't remember the author's name, but it's basically like The Way of the Superior Man. It's kind of like a masculinity book, it's a bit out there, but like I like the frame of that, like The Way of the Superior Man. How can you be a superior man across like everything you do? So like you're great with your family, you're great in terms of fitness, you're great at business, you can be great at fucking everything.
Yeah. How you do one thing is how you do all things, right? That's I'm a firm believer of that. And you see it, when I get to work with these clients, it's like, no, every aspect, whether it's family life, business, training, you know, even going out to eat, like whatever the case may be, it's like, no, everything is as close to perfect as we can have it.
You've also trained some of the best athletes in the world. Who's the most impressive person you've seen in person and worked with?
Are you asking like athlete-wise, work ethic-wise?
Let's go both. So from an athletic standpoint and like maybe mindset, work ethic.
Okay, I'll tell you, one person I think has both.
Okay.
And I got to train with them for a couple years. You know, Saquon Barkley. And are you familiar with him?
No, so for the audience, who's he?
Yeah, so Saquon Barkley is a running back for he's for the Eagles now.
Okay.
And if he has a real viral clip of like hurdling somebody backwards.
Okay.
Which, imagine running full speed and somebody's coming and try to tackle you. He did a spin move on a guy and then literally jumped up backwards over somebody else that's trying to come and tackle you. So that kind of describes his level of athleticism. We would do box jumps and stuff, and the way he would jump and land onto the box, it was like a kangaroo or something, like jumping, like just, it was something that I had not seen before. And he was 240 pounds. So like, I don't know, what is that in kgs,
105 or something?
105 kgs, but moving like, you know, it's crazy to see his speed, his jumping ability, but then his strength. Like then he's also power cleaning 200 kgs. So it's like superhuman, you know, and but again, attention to detail, and the way he worked was just non-stop. It was prehab, so before even the training session, he's getting stretched out, recovery, then the training session, outworking everybody. You know, talking about competitiveness. I remember one time we were training together, and he was letting everybody know not one person's going to beat me in a race today, and he was like putting money up, like if anybody beats me today, like we'll put money up. I bet. Whatever, you know, I forgot the number, but he was betting money like whoever beats me in a race. It was that level, and every day in, day out, it was that level of competitiveness. Like we had to pull him back, you know what I mean? So, and then after the training session, then it was recovery. He would have a masseuse or something come literally on the field, work him out and stuff. Then we'd go do you know, whether sauna, ice. It was just full days of work. So when we're talking about that level of greatness, it was like a mentality like a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, but the athleticism like someone I've never seen before.
Now, if you enjoyed this clip and you're a coach, creator, or a business owner, and you want help in terms of how to scale your business using ads, AI, content, marketing, a lot of things we talk about on the show, then hit the link at the top line of our description in the YouTube video. You can book in a call with us and we'll walk through the whole process, audit your business, and show you where there's huge, huge opportunities for you to scale.